YouTube, Ordotsar here. Today is the 6th of October 2022, which means it's time for the Ordotsar podcast because it's, well, Thursday. On Tuesday, Overwatch 2 came out, but I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually had a chance to play it yet, so I can't give my opinions on it, and for those that were expecting something to do with Siege, it's the middle of World, so sorry, I guess. So I think we know what should happen with Group D. Like, 100 Thieves will maybe steal a game off RNG, but it won't matter, whatever. But I'm actually going to spend 5 minutes and be like, hey, I think the EU teams actually do stand a chance, and I'm going to make the case for each team, each of the 3 European teams, Fnatic, G2, and of course Rogue. So, we'll start off with Group A, which, obviously, last week we had this massive upset, which means that, you know, no Copium, whatever. Mad Lions probably would have been bottom anyway. Yeah. It's probably for the best that it's Evil Geniuses, because the chances are they will probably go 0-6, but anyway. Basically, so, let's start off with Fnatic. Fnatic have been in groups of death before. Okay? 2019, in matter of fact, it was basically the same group. NA team, Chinese team, and then T1 and Fnatic to round it off. But in 2019, it was RNG. A pretty good RNG as well. One that had Uzi, etc. Edward Gaming, I think, are weaker than 2019 RNG, if that makes sense. So I feel like I can see it more happening in this group. But it's whatever, because you see, Fnatic are going to play against Cloud9 to start off with, which should be a good win on the board to start them off. And also, Fnatic's roster is better than what it was in 2019, arguably. The only thing you could realistically make a case for is that Reckless and Hylissang were probably the best bot lane duo. One of the best bot lane duos in the history of League, whatever. Or at the very least in Western League. And Upset and Hilly haven't been exactly as good, but they're insane players, so. Which means I actually do think that there is a solid case to be made for Fnatic winning. All they have to do is just not do, well, as a matter of fact, is it down here for storylines? No. There's a storyline technically for, what's his name? The staff member, Yamato Cannon. Because you see, he's been in a group like this before, in 2018. Now, Vitality didn't get out of groups in 2018 because they choked twice against Cloud9. That's a good storyline. He wants revenge. He's going to come and do it. He's going to do what Cloud9 did to Vitality and just completely pull the upset. Now, the only question is it going to be T1 or EDG that shits the bed? EDG have failed in groups with Cloud9 and T1 before, completely fucking themselves over in 2017. Obviously, I don't think they're that bad now, but yes, that's that. So yeah, I think there is a solid case. Fnatic probably can take a game off. I mean, they should 2-0 Cloud9, and then it's like, can you at least take one game off EDG? Can you sneak a game off T1? Can you be like the one reason why T1 don't get to go 6-0? Because they choked and dropped one game to you. Can you do that, Fnatic? I think you can. You've got a much better roster, arguably, than 2019. Anyway, let's move on to Group B, which is Damwon, EG, G2, and JDG. JDG, I honestly think you could probably make a solid case are going to go 6-0. So, that being said, I am going to strongly suggest, unlike with Group A, where you could kind of argue that I implied that Fnatic can go, can go 5-1, whatever, to contest for top seed. I think, well, that would be Copium. I do think Fnatic should take a second seed, though they probably can contest for first seed. But yeah, if you're, let's see, but JDG should probably go 6-0. Again, if you must lose, please let it be to G2. Please let G2 steal a game. And then G2 should probably 2-0 Evil Geniuses. I think Evil Geniuses are going to be 0-6. JDG should probably be 6-0. And then we come to Damwon and G2. I honestly think G2 can win. Like, G2 have good enough drafts that they can punish mistakes. They have weird picks. Like, they have weird picks that can draw attention. Man like Broken Blade can just lock in the rhythm. Maybe he should consider taking Flash. But, whatever. It's fine. I believe in you. I want to make sure that this doesn't go 10 minutes again. But, yeah, so, I think... And then it's like, if you're G2 and you can steal a game off JDG, then I guess you get 4-2, while that one would, I guess, hypothetically be fucking, what? 3-3? Okay, great, and then you take second seed because you're 4-2. I think it's a little more difficult than, say, Fnatic's situation, but at the same time, I think that one have kind of underwhelmed. They were the third seed in it. Yeah. They were third seed, and I think that the players are kind of equal-ish. Like, Jankos and Cap, if Cap super shows up, and, like, if everything goes perfectly, then G2 can get out. Obviously, that's a little bit of Copium, but G2, like, have a good group. I think, who's their first game against? It's that one. It's like, okay, I don't need to discuss this for Fnatic, because Fnatic are playing G2, but it's like, I mean, because Fnatic are playing Cloud9, but it's like, in their first game. But G2, if G2 beats down 1 Kia, that's pretty good. And then that means after the second day, you should be 2-0. Think about it from that side of things. It's like, and then it's like, whether you win or lose this, you're 2-1 or 3-0. If you're 3-0 after this, you just beat EG again, then you're basically guaranteed at least a tiebreaker to get out of groups, depending on if EG can pull off any upsets of their own. Which I don't believe in. Obviously, I want to believe in Western teams, so there is that. Anyway, and then we move on to... So yeah, G2 should beat Evil Geniuses. I think they can maybe, if they get super lucky, or if JDG just shits the bed like FPX last year, maybe steal a game or two or whatever. It's possible. And then I honestly think that G2 probably can beat that one. At the very least in one game, which means you should at the very least guarantee yourself a tiebreaker. Poggers. And then it's all about just keeping your composure and, you know, Caps, Giga smurfing, whatever. Because Caps has been playing insane all summer. Anyway, and then, yeah, that's how G2 can get out. And then it's time for Group C. Rogue. DRX looks so bad in... Actually, I mean, they look so bad against Mad Lions, basically. I think they actually looked alright against RNG. But it seemed mostly that RNG was the ones making mistakes, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like... But it's like, Mad Lions probably should have lost to DRX. I mean, should have won against DRX, but, you know, things happened. But it's like, your players are better than Mad Lions. And also, my rank is now building like a human. Which is amazing. It's like, that's part of the reason why they smurfed in the finals. Rogue, you can beat literally these 3 teams. I think Top Esports should edge you out. Like, maybe, best case scenario, you and Top Esports are both like 5-1 or whatever, with maybe Gam being like, and then Gam and DRX being whatever in the bot side of the thing. But yeah, and then maybe you lose the tiebreaker. At least you got out. That's the important thing. It's like, Rogue are looking amazing. Admittedly, I think there are questions that can be asked. It's like, for example, can you take a game or 2 off Top Esports? Maybe not. I think you're playing against DRX, but it's like, yeah. And then it's like, on the second day, I think you're playing Gam. I think. Yeah, so it's like, again, you have that G2 thing where you could potentially be 2-0 after the first day. I mean, after the first 2 days. And then, like, if you can take that win off, thingy, you just need that one win. That's all you need. You got this. I believe in you. Plus, upsets, whatever results can also go your way, which is poggers. Anyway. And then, yeah, I think Top Esports are probably favourites, but again, I think Rogue can beat them, but this is all Hopium and Copium at the same time. Rogue can easily get out of groups. Hell, I think unlike the other 2 European teams, you could probably even make a solid case that Rogue can top their group. It is best of ones, after all. Europe is actually pretty good at best of ones. Whether for better or for worse, so, you know, bringing out some weird pick, like fucking Fiddlesticks, would be fucking amazing here. Obviously, that's probably something we would probably see more from EG, but still, there are these picks. And Korean junglers tend to like Kindred, so I am hopeful in Rogue. Plus, obviously, NASA's spotlight, NASA's support, but Zeri doesn't seem too meta. I don't think, matter of fact, I'm gonna check. I don't think Zeri's been played once. Can we confirm? I don't think Azeri has been picked once. It's kind of peak. Anyway, yeah, and that's my thoughts on how Europe can get out of groups, and we once again lasted over 10 minutes. Europe can do it. It starts tomorrow. And for the various Korean and Chinese teams, it starts with success. Anyway, thank you all for watching. This has been Ordotsar. I will see you next week. Peace.